Hi everybody, this is Alessandra Ziviani coming to you live from CPAC. I'm going to be doing today scabs and bruises. So what I want to do first is I've already put some primer on my face, and especially on my eyes, because we're going to be doing a lot of we're going to do a black eye right here. We're going to do a cut on my forehead, and we're going to do a little cut on my lip with a fat lip. So what I'm going to do, I have primer on already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some basic foundation on. Now I'm going to be going a shade lighter today because I kind of want to look like slightly paler than normal. Because if I had this many abrasions on my face, I might be going into a little bit of shock. You know, we never know. So also, and I'm just going to put this on and talk to you at the same time. And I'm going to also wipe my lips here too, because I'm going to be putting a lot of makeup here on my lip because I'm going to be doing a cut right here. So the thing about FX makeup for bruises and cuts, it's really fun. I love it. I get really excited about it. Is that because you have to have a whole storyline behind your cuts, like how you got them, what happened. And, you know, so I've been thinking about my storyline for how I got injured. And, you know, I first wanted it to be, you know, maybe I like challenged a kangaroo to a, you know, WWF kind of match wrestling, takedown, showdown. And then I thought about perhaps, because what has to happen is that I'm getting a black eye here, which I'm going to give myself a black eye here. And then I'm going to do a cut up here and a cut down here. So for me, my trajectory is that I was hit in the face and then fell and scraped up the other side of my face. That's kind of what I'm going with in my mind. So then I thought, oh, maybe I was like trying to forage coconuts and a coconut hit me in the face and then I fell to the pavement, you know, on like a hot Miami beach day. But what I settled on is actually that I'm going to be, it's the semifinals for the National Roller Derby convention. So that is what my injuries are sustained from, you know, the glory of competitive sports. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Here we go. I'm almost complete. I'm going to bring it down to, just like you would normally, this is just a normal, you would do your foundation normally as if you were just doing regular makeup. For this part, just the only thing that would be different is that you're wiping your lips. So here we go. There we are. Okay, so my foundation is down. Now, what I'm going to do, because I have a mixture of cream colors and powder colors, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the cream on my face, the cream color on my face first, then powder it, and then go back in with powder. So the thing about bruising, what you want to know about bruising, I'm going to wipe my foundation off my face when I did that. What you want to know about bruising is that it's always darker in the center in terms of red. Dark, if it's bleeding, it's going to have dark red in it. It's going to fan out from that to a lighter red. It's going to be surrounded by almost a ring of purple. If you've had a bruise before, you get the purpling first, and then as it is an older bruise, or if it was a really heavily sustained injury, you might swell immediately. So that's where our yellows come in. Your yellow is going to be your highlight for your discoloration. And then what you're going to want also to have is like a dark kind of muted olivey kind of green. I'm going to show you what colors I'm going to be using. I love this palette. I've been using it a lot in the last couple of tutorials. I'm going to be using this red right here, maybe a little bit of this lighter red. This is purple, and this is kind of like a muted olivey green, kind of looks like that, but I might mix it with some of these other colors. I have this green right here, which is a little bit brighter green, but I might mix it with that. For the cream makeup though, what I'm going to start with is, again, this Ben Nye palette with this Rouge. And I'm just going to get in there. Let me get my makeup brush. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so if you were punched or elbowed in the eye like I was during my roller derby competition, but bitch, by the way, if anybody, I'm trying to think of a name for my roller derby team. I think that I've settled on one, but I was thinking of the Holy Rollers or Shake, Rattle, and Roll, but I think I settled on Scabbin' Skin Roll, which is the name, which should be the name of our team. And then I don't know what my roller derby nickname should be, because you all have roller derby nicknames when you're doing roller derby. So if you have an idea of what my name should be for my character, I would love to hear it. Just post a comment down. So here we go. I'm getting in here with the red, and I'm going to bring it down. You can see my natural like crease line where my bags are. So I'm just going to follow that, and I'm just going to put some redness underneath my eye in this kind of this circular shape. And I'm going to extend it up a little bit, up into here, up to my, not all the way to my brow line, because I'm going to be using this for a highlight later. So, and you can kind of see it. I'm making this kind of like circular kind of triangular pattern here. I'm not going to do it here either, because I'm going to put some highlight here as to swell out or pop out my eye. Now, what I'm going to do right here is really cool. So I want to show that my upper cheekbone right here, because when you get hit or elbowed, you can immediately start to swell. So I want the impact point to have a swollen aspect to it. So on top of my cheekbone, right kind of at the diagonal of the bottom part of my eye, I want to keep this area not with makeup on it, so that I can come back in and highlight. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to kind of make this kind of triangular shape at the end of my eye, just kind of like that. And then I'm going to kind of bring it down like a comma. Well, backwards comma. A parenthesis. How about that? A parenthesis. And I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to go a little bit under my eye there. So I'm just going to go in with all the red right now here. And that's how we're looking right there. Then, because I'm using the cream right now, I wouldn't normally just go in with yellow. I would wait, but I am going to go in with a little yellow because it's cream right now. So I'm just going to pop my yellow in to where I want the appearance of swelling. Just like that. And a little bit up here, like that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put a little bit of powder on my eye. And I'm not gonna use a pressed pad. I'm just gonna do a very light dusting. Just like that. So now that is set. What I'm going to do, I'm going to focus away from this now, because I'm going to actually do a little bit of here so I can come back in with colors as I'm using them. So I'm using liquid latex because we have it and it's great. You don't have to use this. I like it because it gives texture to the look. And if you have an open wound, which I'm going to be doing an open wound here and an open wound here, like very fresh, I want texture with it. So this is just liquid latex Ben Nye, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, and liquid latex can be a little fussy, so if the brush goes right into the liquid, so what you really need to do is I might use a different brush actually. Oh wait, here I got some. Okay, so, and I'm just kind of what it's called stippling, so I'm just kind of like taking my brush and making it stick, but also kind of pulling it up a little bit so it looks like it's part of my skin that has been pulled away. hold on, here we go. Some more, a little bit more up in here. And it's not too worrisome if it pulls like that. I'm just gonna pat it down because we're gonna go over it with makeup and it's supposed to look kind of like gross. Now I'm gonna put some on my lip. I'm gonna put some right here, kind of at the same angle. If I was to imagine that I had fallen and kind of skidded. So, and I'm just gonna bring it up like this. It's actually going on my lip. I'm putting it on my lip right there. And I'm bringing it up like just a little line like that. Okay. And I'm going to let this dry for a minute because it needs to. So then I'm going to go back to my eye. So I powdered it. We have cream makeup on it right now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually come in with this darker red, this one right here. And I'm going to use a different, I'm going to use actually this. And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to pop a little bit of my inner eye like this with some red. And I'm going to pop a little bit here and a little bit down here. Just kind of doing a little bit of like definition with the different colors. This kind of makeup, this kind of FX makeup is really fun because you can totally be as creative as you want to be with it as long as you're kind of thinking about the parameters of where light and shadow fall. Okay. Then from there, I'm actually going to get a bunch of this purple and I'm going to kind of just drop it in there as, you know, kind of insta bruising. I'm just going to wipe it down a little bit, kind of blend it in a little. And I'm just kind of I'm going a little bit over the red that I had in there, but I'm being cautious of letting some of it pop out and letting some of the darker, I like that it's darker right here. I'm going to come out here. And again, this is the triangle I was talking about. I'm going to continue that triangle. And then I'm going to kind of gently add some discoloration here. Like that. And, you know, it's going to be different every time you do it, just because you're different every day and you might not, you know, but that's what's fun about it too, is that you can change, you can actually enhance the look as you get more practice with it or whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this a little bit away like that. I'm getting happier with this. Here we go. I am going to come in with a little bit of a red eyeliner pencil, and I'm just going to line my eye a little bit up in here so it looks like you can see kind of the color kind of pops it out. Just gonna like that. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with some yellow, from, I'm going to actually use some of this. So I'm just going to come in with some more yellow under here and kind of dab it up and pat it. And up in here. What now I'm going to do is I'm going to get, you know, I was talking about that green. So I'm going to do some of the green shading under here. I'm also, oh, I just wanted to do that too. That's what I wanted to do. I want to do a little yellow here. Again, it's a highlight. So it indicates from far away that, you know, this is a deeper bruise impression than it is. So there we go. So I'm getting some of that in there. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of this green, and I'm actually going to use a fluffier kind of brush. Hi, Linda. I'm using this little fluffy brush because I don't want to go too crazy with the green. It's just really contouring. So I'm going to come in. Ooh, that was a little too much. I'm going to come in and just wipe that off. I'm going to do that up in here to show just a little bit of like a depression. I'm going to come in here a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of blend it out. Blend it out. You know, I'm feeling I need a little bit more right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in with the reds and the purples. And I'm just going to pop this a little bit more because I'm feeling like it's not popping. That was the red. And I'm going to come back in with the purple. Just like that. And I'm just kind of dropping that purple in just kind of around the red and kind of stippling it up into the red, just like that. Here we go. And I'm also going to put a little bit more purple up in here. And it's really up to you when you're going to start to see when it starts to really kind of look like a major bruise, and you know how deep you want to go for your character, how fresh is the wound, how old is the wound. These are all things you have to think about while you're doing this kind of makeup. Okay, so I'm going to leave my eye for a minute and I'm going to focus on now my latex is dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in actually with the cream makeup, this red makeup, and I'm just going to kind of, again, I'm doing this kind of stippling motion and I'm just stippling the red on top of this area. So I'm just going to pull it out like that. I think I want it to be about that big. And I'm making sure that I'm covering all of that. And then I'm going to do it on my lip too. Same kind of motion. Like that. And I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit here because, again, I'm going to try to give myself a fat lip here. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So when you have a fat lip, we're doing a highlight now because it's swelling. So if you actually stick your tongue down into your lip like that, you can see where you're going to have a fat lip. And you can actually talk like that too. It's fun. So you're going to put highlight here actually. And I'm just going to fix that. Okay, so I'm getting the red down in here just so that we have it. Now I'm going to come back in with my yellow and highlight this area. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Just like that for now. I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow up in here because I would be swollen. And the yellow again is like the highlight for the swelling of your face. Up here, what's going to happen is that I'm going to put some purple bruising, but I'm going to try to mimic as if I'm getting a big goose egg up here. So what I'm going to do is when you get a goose egg, you know, you've got some yellow up in this area, but then it also kind of up in here. So I'm just going to kind of come around like this because then I'm going to fill in. Like that. Okay. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of powder on this since this is cream makeup. And then I'm going to come back in with my powder makeup and do the contouring. So I'm just going to very lightly put some powder, translucent powder, on this part. And that's going to keep my latex down too. Okay. Okay. So the same kind of thing for this next part. I'm going to come back in with bright reds and that deep purple. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my red first again. And I'm going to put this red powder actually right in the center of, hold on, I need this guy. I need a firmer brush. Here we go. And I'm just gonna come in here like that. And again, I'm using that kind of stippling motion. Just like that. And I'm gonna bring it down here a little bit. And then I'm gonna come up in here. And again, I'm doing it right in the center of this wound. We are going to be putting blood, stage blood in this as well. So I just want to get it as kind of, it's all about layering. Here we go. I'm going to get some of that in there. Go. Great. So you can see it's already getting pretty defined. Now I'm going to come back in with my purple. And I'm going to do a little, I'm going to start down on my lip. See this is my fat lip again. So now I'm going to just come around the fat lip part and kind of encapsulate it. So it is appearing like a shadow. Same with up here. Get some bruising up on my lip. And I put some purple on my actual lips because they would turn too. I'm just going to kind of blend that with my finger. And then I'm going to come back in here and drop some of this purple in. And see how I'm kind of, my yellow is here, and then I've got another thing of yellow here. So it's almost like a double kind of goose egg. So I'm just gonna kind of do that. There we go. I'm just gonna come in a little bit more purple. Since I have the purple, I'm just gonna come in into my eye again. Make it a little darker. Bring it down this to the bridge of my nose a little bit. Okay, I'm getting happy with this. This is looking good. My lip is looking good. Okay, so then now I've done enough contouring with this. I am going to come in a little bit with that green, and I'm just going to kind of, because I want the shadow to, it's a lot, like heavy-handed with my green. There we go. And I'm just going to wipe, but that's okay because I can just wipe it away. And you can kind of see how it's, you know, how it adds that dimensional level to it. It's looking more like raised. And I'm going to come in here to that too and do a little bit under here. Okay. And I'm just going to blend this a little bit more. Go. A bit more there. And a little bit more under here. Kind of deep, I'm deepening this black eye with this green so that you can really get a sense of the bruising. What I'm also gonna do is, if I had gotten this hurt, my eyes would have started to water. I would have been crying. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of liner under here, under my other eye. And that's what I love about this kind of makeup. It's so story-based. You know, you have to really think, okay, well, if I got elbowed in the face by the rival roller derby team, Meat Hands Mary or something, how would my body react? And I'm probably I slid onto the roller derby floor and, maybe got caught up in somebody's skate, and that's how I got hit, and maybe I bit my lip, or you know, my eyes started watering. So that's what I love about this kind of makeup. You really get to have this wild fantasy of what occurred to hurt you so like that. So now I'm just going to take some of this lighter red right here, and I'm just going to kind of go under my eye a little bit, like as if I was crying or my eye was watering up a bit, just like that. I'm also going to pop a little bit of it over here, just a little bit of different contour, so just check it out. Put a little bit more in this area. Okay. And I'm gonna put, actually, I don't want it to go this far, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more foundation right here because my shadow went a little bit too far. But that's the great thing about, you know, this. You can fix things, especially with cream makeup, which is why it's so great. Now I'm really liking this right here because it's looking really natural, this kind of actual bruising, this lighter green into the yellow and then into this thing. What I do want to do is I want to get a little more red. I have a very limited amount of this red. This is the Bruise and Scar palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a really thin brush and I'm just going to take a little bit off the sides, and I'm gonna pop some right into the center of my scab. Scab and Skin Roll. That's the roller derby team name I've come up with that I belong to. I think I'm the team captain. Here we go. Scab and Skin Roll. All right. Okay. Now I'm just kind of messing with it. Yeah. And I'm just gonna do a little bit more purple right here. Great. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put some stage blood on these things. This is the stage blood. It always comes in a small little guy like this. This is Ben Nye. What I recommend doing, because it can be messy, is I have a little container and I'm just going to pour a little bit of this blood in the container just like that. And it's pretty viscous if you see it. And then I have a very tiny little brush. It's like a little, just for reference. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stipple it onto here. And then what I'm going to do is put a big glob here and let it roll down my face as it naturally would. So here we go. I'm just going to stipple some blood onto my wound. And you can really see it really makes a difference, the stage blood. It's like the different texture. FX makeup, again, is all about texturing and contouring. I'm going to put a little on my bottom lip. And I got smack it because like I would have gotten blood in my mouth. So I'm just going to put that like that. Because it probably would have gone that far. Let's go like that. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do my forehead. Here we go. I'm going to try to do it while talking to you. Here we go. And I want a really big glob because I want it to roll. So I'm just going to kind of keep pulling it into, keep adding it. So now here we go. I'm going to close my eye. I'm going to let it roll down, roll faster. It's not wanting to roll very much today. Here we go. Is that all I'm going to get? Come on. I'm gonna shake my head, make it roll more. My last roll was good for the promotional picture. It was a good bloop, 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 bloop down my face. So yeah, okay. And I'm gonna pat it a little bit up here because I want a little kind of like dry blood situation. Like I had reached up to touch my head and oh, I might have gotten some blood on there. Here we go. What do you guys think? It's looking pretty good, right? Pretty, yeah, you know, off the battlefield look. So I'm actually pretty happy with this look right now. I could do a little bit more shading up here just for a little, like, you know, 'cause it starts, there we go, like a little bit of like that optical shading. I'm gonna do a little down here because there we go. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna do a really light dusting of translucent powder, just like that. Not on the latex, again, just like not on those stage blood, just on this, just to kind of keep it in place. And one last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of contour here, just like a normal contour, as if, you know, I had some makeup on before I got demolished by the other team. I think we won though, you know, no pain, no glory, right? So I'm just going to contour my cheeks here. And you know, this I like to do too, especially if you're, since I put a shade lighter, on my skin so that I looked paler, so that, because I would be kind of in shock a little bit if I had gotten this, you know, roughed up by somebody. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to put a little light, just highlight on my eye like that. Like that. Because I do want still the audience to see my eye. And with this really darkening it, I want to make sure that my eyes are still kind of wide enough apart. So I am going to put a little bit of white in the center of my eye, because that, again, we talked about this last week, or the week before. The lighter color in the corner of your eye makes your eyes appear farther apart. So we're just going to do that. You know, I could show, since I'm here, let me show you. I'm going to do a little nose break, like I got my nose broken. And I'm just going to do that with powder. Again, it's the green. I'm going to use the green powder. And I'm just going to kind of go like that. And I'm going to blend it down. So I put like a little bit here and a little bit here with like it's about a ½ inch of space on my nose. And I'm bringing it down like that. Bringing it down like that. The bruising. And it's also showing that I'm swelling right here. And then I'm just going to come back in with a light color. I'm going to come in with this white light color here. And actually bring it down to here, because I would be swelling up. And it gives me this impression of like a fat nose. And I'll put a little yellow in there too. Hold on. Put a little yellow on it. And blend it. And then I got this big break in my nose. But it was worth it. We're the champions. Roller Derby 2020. So there you go. This is the look. I would love to see you guys attempt to do it as well. All you need again is a bright red, a purple, and a yellow. And you don't have to do it with cream makeup like I did. I just am using what we have here, but you can do it all with powder if you want to. I suggest using brushes that are you can use this compact brush. You can actually get it on there. And then if you have any brushes that are little and kind of like compact as well, so you can really get into, it's a lot of detail work. So if you can get in there like that, it's better. Okay, well, this is Alessandra Ziviani. Hopefully next week I might have a guest. We want to do something for Pride. So my friend Andrew, who is part of the Pride Alliance up in Mendocino, he might be coming by and I might be doing a look on him. Or I will do a look on myself that is, you know, Pride Proud. Okay. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you next Monday. Bye.